Hello everyone, welcome back to AeroHub and welcome to the series of lectures in airframe structures. In the previous lecture we discussed about what is shear center and elastic axis, and also we discussed how to estimate the shear flow distribution for an unsymmetrical section. In this lecture we will find out the shear flow distribution for a channel section which is symmetric about your y-axis, and also we will find out the location of the shear center for this corresponding section. You can see in the question, calculate the shear flow distribution and the location of shear center of the channel section which is subjected to a vertical shear load of 1000 newtons. So they have given the value of Sy. They have given the value of shear load along y direction, that is 1000 newton. And we don't have any shear load along x direction. Okay, so we have the formula to find out the shear flow distribution for an open section. Qs is equal to minus k1 integral 0 to x tx ds minus k2 integral 0 to s ty ds, and we have the value of k1. It is nothing but sy ixy minus x sx ixx divided by ixy square minus ixx iyy, and k2 is equal to sx ixy minus x sy iyy divided by ixy square minus ixx iyy. Okay, now since this section is symmetric about y-axis, the value of ixy will be 0 because it is symmetric about the horizontal axis. So the value of ixy is 0, and we don't have sx, so ixy is 0 here, and we don't have sx, so practically the value of k1 becomes 0. Similarly, in this case we don't have ixy and we don't have shear force along x direction, so this value becomes 0. This also becomes 0. Now we will be having minus sy divided by iyy divided by minus of ixx iyy. I can cut both iyy from numerator and denominator. Finally you will be getting sy by ixx. So k2 is equal to sy by ix and k1 is equal to 0. So finally I can write the value of shear flow qs is equal to minus of k2. So it will be minus sy divided by ixx integral 0 to s ty ds. Okay, this is the formula which is applicable for any structure or any thin wall section which we are subjecting to shear load along y direction and is symmetric about any axis. Okay, this is the general formula to find out the shear flow distribution for an open section which is symmetric, and we are applying only the shear load along y direction. Okay, now we have to find out the value of qs here. So qs is equal to, for this section, qs is equal to minus sy divided by ixx. Okay, so first of all you have to find out the value of moment of inertia ixx. Ixx is equal to bd cube by 12 plus a y square. Okay, this is a formula to find out the value of ixx. So we have two flanges and we have one web here. So I will write multiply 2 into 1 by 12 for flange. The value of b is 20 centimeters, so it will be 20, and the d will be thickness. This is 2 mm, so it will be 0.2 cube plus area. Area is 20 into 0.2 and the y value. You can see that the total height of the web is 30 centimeter. So the value of y, you have to understand that always we will keep the web in the y axis. So the value of y for the horizontal section will be always half of the web. So it will be 30 divided by 2, 15 square. Plus for the web, the value of 1 by 12, the value of b is 0.2 centimeter into the d is 30 cube. Plus the area is 0.2 into 30 y square value. Since we are keeping the value of the web in the y axis, the value of y is 0. So this value becomes 0, and you have to also understand we have in first term 1 by 12 into 20 into 0.2 cube. Okay, 0. So by thin walled approximation, the higher order values of thickness is neglected. So this value becomes 0. So finally we will be having 2 times 20 into 0.2 into 15 square plus 1 by 12 0.2 into 30 cube. Okay, 0.2 into 30 cube. Okay, so I will be getting the answer as 2250 centimeter power 4. This is the value of Ixx. The value of Ixx is 2250 centimeter power 4. Okay, now we will find out the value of, the shear flow equation. Okay, so Qs is equal to minus of Sy divided by Ixx integral 0 to S Ty ds, and minus Sy is 1000 Newton and the value of Ixx is 2250, and I will be taking thickness outside because thickness is constant. So it will be 0.2 integral 0 to S y ds. So after solving, I will be getting 0.089 integral 0 to S, it will be minus here, minus 0.089 integral y ds. This is the value of Qs. Okay, so this is minus 0.089 integral 0 to S y ds. This is the value of shear flow equation for your entire section C channel. Okay, put as equation number 1. Now I will draw this channel section here. Similar to the Z section analysis, I will analyze the shear flow distribution for each portion. Portion 1, 2, 3, 4. So first of all we will analyze portion 1, 2, then 2, 3 and 3, 4. The height of the web is 30 and the width and total length of the flat is 20 centimeter. Okay, so for portion 1, 2, we will introduce a shear flow from right to left for portion 1, 2, introducing shear flow S1 from right to left. Okay, and in this equation we don't have the x term, and the S1 varies from, so at the free edges the value of shear flow is 0. At point 1 S1 is 0, and at point 2 the total length of portion 1 2 is 20 centimeter, so it will be 20. S1 varies from 0 to 20, and the value of y for portion 1 2 or the upper flange is always half of the web, so it will be 15. Okay, so the value of web is 15 because the total height of the web is 30. The half of the web will be plus h by 2, so it will be plus 15. Okay, now let Q1 to be the shear flow for portion 1 2. So Q12 will be equal to minus 0.089 integral 0 to S1 y ds1. So this will be minus 0.089. S1 varies from 0 to 20. Y value is 15 ds1. So it will be 0.089 into 15. It will be S1 0 to 20. So Q1 will be practically 0 and Q2 will be minus 0.089 into 15 into 20. So this will be minus 26.7 Newton per centimeter. This is the value of Q2. And you can see we assumed a shear flow from right to left, and at point 2 the value is negative. Therefore, we will be getting a reversed shear flow. The shear flow Q is reversed at point 2. So we will be having this value as minus 26.7, and it is slowly decreasing to 0 at the free edge. Okay, and you can see the shear flow variation. The shear flow from this equation, Q variation is linear. That is, at this point we will be having 26.7, and at point 1 we have 0. So it will be a linear variation. This is a linear variation. This is a linear variation. So at point 2 it will be 26.7, and point 1 will be having 0 as the shear flow. Okay, now we will analyze the portion 2-3. For portion 2-3, we are introducing a shear flow S2 from top to bottom. Okay, we are introducing a shear flow S2 from top to bottom. Shear flow S2 from top to bottom, and here there is no x value, so x will be 0. Since there is no x value in the shear flow equation, you can see the shear flow equation, there is no x value here, and also we are keeping the web in the y axis, so practically there is no x value. And also your S2 is varies from 0 to 30. Okay, at point 2 the value of S2 is 0, and at point 3 the value of S2 is 30 because the height of the web is 30 centimeter. Okay, so it will be 30, and y varies from plus 15 to minus 15. Okay, so we are keeping your web in the y-axis, and this one is your coordinate system. Here you have positive, here you have negative value. Okay, and at the center it will be 0. So when y is equal to plus 15, s2 is equal to 0. When y is equal to 0, s2 will be equal to 15. And when y is equal to minus 15, somewhere here, this minus 15 is here, minus 15, s2 is equal to 30. Okay, from this equation we have to find out the value of y. Okay, so y will be equal to, at y is equal to 0 means at the centroid, at the correct center of the web. Okay, at y is equal to 0, s2 will be 15. From these three cases, you have to find out the value of y. So y will be equal to 15 minus s2. Okay, this will be the value of y for the portion 2, 3, which is the web of the section. Now, Q2, 3 is the shear flow distribution for portion 2, 3. Q2, 3 will be equal to Q2 because we are superimposing the value of shear flow. We analyzed portion 1, 2 separately. Then we found out the value of shear flow at point 1 and 2. Then we will analyze portion 2, 3 and separately. We will analyze the portion 2, 3 separately. Then we will add the value of Q2 to the value of Q2, 3. So it will be continuous. So Q2, 3 is equal to Q2 plus minus 0.089 02 S2 15 minus S2 ds2. This is the shear flow equation. So Q2 plus minus 0.089 will be 15 S2 minus S2 square by 2. This varies from 0 to 30. Okay, now when I am substituting the lower limit, you will be getting 0 here. So the value of Q2 will be same as the previous step. So you will be getting Q2 is equal to minus 26.7 Newton per centimeter. Okay, when we substitute the lower limit, the S2 value will become 0. So it will be 0 here. So Q2 will be minus 26.7, which we got in the previous step. Okay, now to find out the value of Q3 is equal to Q2 plus minus 0.089 15 into 30. I am substituting the upper limit minus S2 square. This is S2 square, and you have to understand when we have a square term, Q variation is parabolic. Okay, so 15 into 30 minus 30 square by 2. So I will be getting Q2 plus minus 0.089. 15 into 30 is nothing but 450. And 30 square by 2. 30 square is 900 by 2 is 450. So practically this will become 0. So Q3 will be equal to Q2. And you can see Q3 will be equal to Q2, that is minus 26.7 Newton per centimeter. Okay, this is the value of Q3. Okay, now you have to understand that we introduced the shear flow from top to bottom. So at Q3 the flow is reversed. The shear flow is reversed. So the original shear flow will be from bottom to top, and we have to also find the shear flow distribution at the center. I will mark as 0.5. Okay, so we have to find out the shear flow distribution at 0.5, which is the center of the web. That is, let 5 be the point at center of web, Q5 is equal to Q2 plus minus 0.089. We have 15S2 minus S2 square by 2. We'll integrate from 0 to 15. Okay, because the shear flow variation is from S2 to 5. At point 2, the value of shear flow is 0. At point 5, the value of shear flow is 15. Is varying from 0 to 15. So when you integrate the equation, when you substitute lower limit, we will be getting the value for shear flow at point 2. So we'll substitute the value of upper limit. Okay, in the previous case, we substitute the value of upper limit as 30 to find out the value of shear flow at point 3. Okay, to find out the value of shear flow at point 5, we'll substitute the upper limit as 15. So Q5 will be equal to Q2 plus minus 0.089, 15 into 15 minus 15 square, that is 225 divided by 2. So this will be, when you solve the equation, I won't be getting a 0 there. So this will be 225 minus 112.5. Q2 plus minus 0.089. So it will be 225 minus 112.5. So this will be Q2 minus 0.089 into 112.5. So finally I will be getting minus 26.7 minus 10.0125, and this will be minus 36.712 Newton per centimeter. This is the value of Q5. Okay. Now, when you consider this diagram, it will be from bottom to top. So it will be increasing and will be maximum at 0.5 and be reducing to a 26.7 at this maximum at 0.5. Okay, so Q2 will be 26.7, Q3 also 26.7, and Q5 is 36.7. This is higher value than Q3. And since the section is symmetric about your y-axis, the shear flow distribution for portion 1, 2 and portion 3, 4 will be same. So I can find out Q3 as 26.7 and Q4 will be always 0. So this diagram will be repeated. Okay, now it will be something like this shear flow distribution, and at the edge it will be 0. Okay, and you can see this is 26.7, and you can see that for portion 2, 3 the variation is always parabolic. We analyze portion 2, 3 in this step, and we found out the equation. Then we have a square term in our analysis. So that means that the shear flow distribution is parabolic. So we will connect this 3 point to a line. Okay, and this will be a parabolic distribution. Okay, you have to understand, since we have a square term in the analysis of portion 2, 3, the shear flow variation is parabolic. That's why we will be having a shear flow variation parabolic in the case of the web. And also we have to understand that the shear stress will be maximum at the centroid. Okay, at the 0.5 will be like the centroid of the entire section. So you will be having maximum value of shear stress throughout at the centroid. Therefore the shear flow will be also maximum at the centroid, and this particular analysis will be a proof for the statement. That is, shear flow will be maximum at the centroid of the section, similar to the shear stress which equal to the transverse shear stress will be maximum at the center of a section. Now we have to find out the value of, we have to find out the location of shear center. And you have to understand shear center is nothing but it's a unique point in the cross section where when we are applying a transverse load, the section will be subjected only to bending and there is no twisting. Okay, this is the value of, this is the definition of shear center. And in this case we have portion 1, 2, 3, 4 and we have the force acting. This is the shear flow distribution and this is 26.7. This is also 26.7 and we have also here 26.7 and at the center we have maximum 36.7. Okay, this is the case. This is 36.7, entire value is 36.7 and we have a shear flow distribution in this direction. It's maximum here, decreasing. Okay, this is the shear flow distribution. Now we have to estimate the value of shear center. Shear center is a point about which the section will subjected to bending without twisting when we are applying a shear load. We have the direct formulas. E is equal to 3b square plus 6b plus d. Okay, where b is the width, this is the total width of the flange, and d is the height of the web. Okay, so here the value of b is nothing but 20. So I can write 3 into 20 square divided by 6 into 20 plus 30. Okay, after solving, it will be 3 into 20 square will be nothing but how much? 20 square is 400. 400 into 3, 1200 divided by 6 into 20 is 6 into 20 is 120 plus 15. 50 is 150. So we'll be getting 8 centimeter. Okay, since the section is symmetric about your y-axis, the shear center will be lying on this particular y-axis, particular symmetric axis. So since this is positive, it will be outside the section. Okay, this is the value of E. Okay, this is the value of E when you are applying a vertical load. Okay, now this is the direct formula. We have to use some mathematical equations to find out. We have to use some equations to find out the value of your shear center. As you can see, there will be a shear force acting on this particular flange, that is F1, and we will be having a shear force acting same here, F1 here, because from the analysis of shear flow we can see that the shear flow distribution for upper flange and lower flange is almost the same. Okay, now to find out the value of shear force, we have to find out the area of this triangle. The area of the shear flow diagram will give the area of the particular web or flange. So F1 will be equal to, it's a triangle 1 by 2. The base is here 20 centimeter and the height is 26.7. Okay, so that will be equal to, we will be getting some value 20 into 26.7. We will be getting the value of F1. I haven't solved that, sorry. And F2, this will be F2. F2 is nothing but the value of shear force acting on the web. Okay, here we have a rectangle. Okay, so F2 will be equal to, here we have a rectangle. The area of rectangle will be 26.7 into 20 plus we have a parabolic arc. That area will be 2.3 into, this distance is A, the area of a parabolic arc is, this is A and this one is B. So the area is nothing but 2 by 3 AB. Okay, 2 by 3 AB, and A is nothing but here total distance is 26.7 and the total value of here is 36.7. So this will be 10. Okay, so this will be, A will be 10 and B will be this height of the web, that is 30. Okay, and you will be getting as 1000 Newton. See, you have to understand, whenever we are applying a shear load of some amount, the value of shear force acting on the web will be the applied load. Okay, the magnitude of shear force acting on the web will be equal to the applied shear load. Okay, this is going to be same. Okay, I have calculated that, but I haven't calculated the value of F1. Now, shear center is nothing but the point about which the system won't rotate. Okay, so because of F1 acting on upper flange 1, 2 and lower flange 3, 4, this is a couple acting on upper flange 1, 2 and lower flange 3, 4. The system can rotate. Okay, that create a moment that can rotate. So to counteract the moment, the particular shear force acting on the web and the moment produced by the web should counteract the moment produced by the couple. The moment produced in web should counteract the moment produced by flanges. Okay, so here the moment produced by the flanges is nothing but the force, that is 1 by 2 into 20 into 26.7. This is the force, and the distance moment arm is the total height of the web. This will be the perpendicular distance, that will be D, that is nothing but 30, and this moment should be equal to the moment acting on the web. So the total force acting on the web is how much? The load applied, that is 1000 into, and we don't know the momentum, we have to introduce this force somewhere here. Okay, and this distance will be your E, and that distance should rotate here. We have a couple acting on the flange, and the moment acting on this flange should counteract the moment acting on the web to avoid the twisting of the section. So we have to provide the shear force at a point in such a way that the moment on the web as well as the moment on the flange should be the same. Okay, so that point will be the shear center, that will be E. So the value of E will be, after solving, we will be getting 1 by 2 into 20 into 26.7 into 30 divided by 1000. Okay, now you solve it. Okay, finally I'll be getting the answer as 8.01 centimeter. Okay, this somewhat are exactly equal. It's 8 centimeter according to the general formula, and where E is nothing but this is the value of B and this is the height of the web, 3B square by 6B plus D. Okay, so we found out the value of E as 8 centimeter. Okay, so that's all about this lecture. Thank you so much for listening. Please do share the channel, and if you have any doubt, you can just comment on the box, and I will provide the links of previous video in the description box. Thank you so much for listening. Take care.